Hello.
We're back.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Again. So this time around, we're our second lightning session for today, and we are so excited to be welcoming one of our dear friends and one of our amazing professionals in our network, Danielle Waldera. She's a realtor. She's a realtor extraordinaire from Destination Home Group of Keller Williams Gateway, and she specializes in helping families of divorce navigate the home selling, home buying process. During the divorce process, which can be stressful. But we love referring people to Danielle, and one of the main reasons that we do is because she's incredibly knowledgeable, and not only is she incredibly knowledgeable, but she truly cares about her clients, and she's always willing to lend a helping hand and extra support.
Yeah.
And one thing we also really love about Danielle is that she's always just a DM away. And she truly cares about helping you make the best decision for you, whatever that looks like. And if you're not from Maryland, the amazing thing about Danielle, really large network system. So she will find you someone where you are, no matter if you're in Maryland or Utah or anywhere. So we love Danielle for her enthusiasm and her care, and she's just an incredible resource, and we are so glad that she is here.
Hey, Danielle.
Hey, girl.
We
Hi.
also love her because she totally keeps it 100.
She does.
Like, as we were prepping
Straight shooter.
for this, she's like, how many curse words is it appropriate for me to use?
Yes.
And we're like, well, let's try to keep it,
But if it slips out, you know what?
yeah, because sometimes it's necessary. But that just goes to like how real you are and how you always want to show up as like your realest self, which is why we love you and why, we when you approached us and said, hey, I want to work with you.
We were like, yes,
We're like,
we love
yeah,
you.
let's do it. So thank you for being you.
Can you guys hear me? Because I can't see you, and this is weird.
Oh,
Really?
really?
Yeah, no, it's totally fine. Like, I'm sure it's like on my end, not yours. I just want to make sure, like,
Oh no,
it's
we can hear you
working.
great. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
you look great. Love the stripes.
Yeah.
I've got them too. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
It's my daughter's. She's 12, so I'm sure it's
I
trendy,
can't
right? If
wait.
12-year-olds like it, then.
Yeah, forward to my daughter getting to that age because I feel like I'm gonna learn a lot. They're gonna keep you on the cutting edge of cultural, everything cultural.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then they go into your closet because I'm of that age when I have that could fit my stuff and they just wear your stuff, your
Mhm.
shoes, and it's like, where are my Adidas? Oh, someone has them on and they're not here.
Yeah,
Savages.
but I haven't
They're
seen them cool.
savages.
So
Right,
yeah,
right, exactly. So, well, thank you so much, Danielle, for being here. We're super excited because real estate is just such a big piece of the puzzle. Like in the last session, we had someone leave a comment about that she and her husband have been married 40 years. They're living in the same home. He lives upstairs, she lives downstairs, and she doesn't want to leave the house because there's memories, but
Yeah.
he wouldn't be able to afford to keep it. Anyway, lots of complicated pieces.
yep.
The house kind of features pretty strongly in that. So, when and I think that's one of the things that we want to ask you about first for this lightning interview is, you know, what should you do with the house? The marital home potentially, and then once you're done with the divorce, do you buy or rent? Like what is the timeline, and how do you figure out what the timeline is for you?
Totally. That is the number one question. And honestly, that scenario that you just spoke about, someone's living downstairs in the basement, someone's living upstairs, is more common than you would think,
Hmm.
for a lot of different reasons. But uh, divorce is already one of the most emotional and difficult seasons of your life, right? So
Yep.
you're already going through so much turmoil that you're almost like emotionally totally at your bandwidth, right? Like you just can't imagine doing anything else, any other hard things because everything is hard right now.
Yep.
And this divorce season, it can last 3 months, it can last 3 years, it can last longer, right? So it can last as long as it lasts. So for a lot of people, another decision is just too hard. It's just too hard, even to leave the house, because that's just another decision. What I will say is that 10 out of 10, 100% of my clients in the past who have made the hard decision to leave, whether they do buy or rent, which we will talk about, the second they're out, it's almost like I can see it. I can see like a physical burden lifted. I can see like a physical change in them because of the emotional lift of just getting out of so much stress and anxiety and tension, right? Like the tension that is just growing in this household is so deep and so in you, in every part of you, even physically, that when I'm able to help someone remove themselves from that tension, it's immediate. I see a change in them physically and emotionally, and 10 out of 10 they all say, gosh, I know that this was hard, the process was still hard, but I would never go back, can't go back. I'm so glad that I got myself and my family, or myself and my animals, or whatever the case, into a situation where I can breathe, I can take a moment, I can reflect, and I can do all of that by myself in a space where I feel safe, in a space where I feel comfortable, and in a space where I don't feel constantly on the defense, you know?
Oh, it's the energy is real and you can really feel it. I felt that in my marital home, like at the end. I was like, I loved this house, but now like it's just become a place where I can't relax. And it's unfortunate, but there
Your
are
love
so
for
many
your
ways
house
around it.
the love for your house changes too when that happens
Hmm.
there, you know? So it's not that you should black out all the good memories. There were a lot of good memories in your house, I'm sure, but your house means something different to you and your children. So this holiday season, I heard a lot of my clients come to me and say, my kids, their older children, aren't coming back to our house this year because we're in the process of selling it, or we're in the process of getting to a place where we're selling it, and this house is no
Hmm.
longer home to the kids. You know,
Yeah.
the house is no longer home to the kids anymore. So I think, the more you can get yourself into a mental place where you can be okay with
Mhm.
moving on and getting yourself just free, just breaking free of a lot of chains that are holding you down, the better off you'll be. Now, buying and renting, that's a whole different conversation, and is also like the numero uno question. Obviously,
Hmm.
financially, you have to be capable, right? So, like, that's
Right.
first and foremost. You have to be financially capable of buying again. And that's conversations that I can have with you, whether you're getting a buyout from the house that you're currently in, whether you're cashing out on some equity, whether you have some family members that are helping you, or whether you are blessed enough to have a pot of money that you've saved for yourself throughout the years, knowing that this might be coming, right? Um,
Hmm.
so no matter what your situation is, you have to be financially capable. Beyond that, though, I go back to just the mental aspect of it, because again, people are so stressed and so anxious, and there's so much tension that sometimes they just feel like, I can't do another hard thing. I'm just going to rent because it's easy.
Right.
I'm here to tell you, first of all, that renting is not that easy. Okay. It's not. It's still crazy
Right.
expensive. If you're in the DMV area, where we are, I mean, a rent here is anywhere from $2,000 to $2,500 a
As much as
month,
a mortgage.
or upwards of that,
Yes.
and that, nationally, these numbers are not a lot different. Any place that maybe you would want to live in is going to cost you. So if you can get yourself through the mental aspect of doing the hard thing, if you're financially capable of buying, and I can help you through all that as well, I can help make the process as tolerable as possible. I promise we'll have a little bit of fun, even though like life feels like
Hmm.
it really sucks right now. I will still bring you coffee and tell you that I love you, because I do, and bring
Yes.
snacks.
That's why we love you,
So
Danielle, because you truly mean it. Like you're not just like bullshitting. Like you truly like Danielle's level of care is like so authentic and we just so appreciate that about her.
Yeah.
I will tell you I love you every day, because I do, and because you deserve that as a person, and because
Yes,
you
we
deserve
do. Mhm.
you deserve to know how proud that, at least if
Yes.
no one else is, I am GD proud of you for, believe me, I'm proud of myself too. I am really proud of you for making the decision to buy a home. How empowering to buy your own house for you and your kids, you and your family, you and your animals, that you can do whatever you want with. You can paint the house pink, barring HOA rules, right? You can do whatever you want, and you should be freaking proud of yourself for even getting to that point and feeling so empowered. And if you decide that you need to rent, that's okay too. No shame in your game. Do what you need to do, okay? For sure, do what you need to do. But if you can financially buy, you are buying yourself and your people a little bit more security, because the thing about the rentals that most of my clients find is when things settle down, right? So when the divorce is over and it's been a year or two, whatever, however long it's taken, things have settled down, and now you're like, oh, my lease is ending. Oh, my landlord wants their house back. Oh, I have to do this again. I have to move again. I have to uproot my people again. I just feel like I just did this, oh, and rent is going up, and, all of these things kind of start crashing down on you again, just when you feel like things were getting better.
Groove.
Yeah, that's when you hit your stride. It's like,
Yep.
But if you own, you have a lot more control over that. So if you can get through the short term and rip the Band-Aid off when you're not feeling like you want to rip the Band-Aid off because it hurts a little bit, go through the short-term pain of ripping that Band-Aid off for the long-term pleasure of knowing that you're secure, that you're in your own place, that you can do whatever you want, that no one's going to raise your rent, no one's going to come and kick you out unless you don't pay your mortgage, and then the bank will kick you out. But aside from that, it's your place, and you can do whatever you want, and you can just breathe a little bit. Take what you need. You need
Yes.
woosah,
Yes, absolutely. Now, I know another common question that you often receive, besides that initial rent versus owning debacle, is, so when you're selling the marital home, do the proceeds from the sale of the house, do they have to be split 50-50, or how does that work from your perspective as a realtor?
Divorce is like real estate. Everything is negotiable.
Yeah.
Everything is negotiable. There are rules, but not really, right?
Yeah.
So divorce is the same as real estate. Everything is negotiable. It can be different state to state. State to state, no one's going to force you to do whatever you guys agree upon. The answer is whatever y'all both agree on, right?
Sure.
So there's two parties, and both parties either have to agree or will be forced to agree at some point, right? Mm-hmm. But it does not have to be 50-50. It can be whatever you agree upon, whatever you feel is fair based on your personal and financial situation. I'm going to tell you to get what you deserve, because again, you should get what you deserve, and we're all trying to start you off fresh and on the right foot for your next adventure in your next life. Here in Maryland, as far as real estate goes, we don't need even anything signed. So we don't need you to be done your divorce. We don't need a divorce decree signed. We don't need a document from an attorney. All I need is, do you agree it's going to be 70-30? Because that's what you discussed. Yes. Do you agree it's going to be 70-30? Yes. Okay. At the table, at settlement, as long as there are no further disputes, the title company, because we're a title state here, some states use attorneys, some states use title. Mm-hmm. The title will disperse it the way that you have agreed and just make you sign a little document at the table that says, yep, we both said it was 70-30. We're good. We're good with that. Release the funds. So that's all we need here. And you should have, I feel like people almost feel guilty for some reason, like they should just do 50-50. But really think and process about what you've brought to this marriage, and even if it's not a financial piece, you have brought a lot. Mm-hmm. So you should not feel like just because you didn't put down the down payment or you weren't able to contribute to the recent kitchen renovation, you should not feel like you are not very deserving of
absolutely
a good chunk of that. You have brought a lot to that house and that relationship and running that household the way that it needed to be run. And it does not always have to just be like, well, it's easier to do 50-50. Listen, I'm not going to sway you. You do what works for you, but I'm going to be like, we can get you something real nice if you,
Yeah.
like we can get you like
Right.
a penthouse condo, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's so important that you say that a long-term partnership and the dysfunction that evidently is leading towards wanting to end that relationship, right? A lot of times self-worth is basically in a toilet,
Hmm.
and so the idea that like I'm even worthy of this whatever it is hard for people to grasp, so you're reminding us that like find people on your support team, whether it's an attorney or a realtor or a coach
Yes.
that is reminding you of your self-worth, especially if that became an issue in your relationship, because yeah, a lot of us are like not even really capable of thinking in that way.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense to me now, but like if you
At the
would,
time, yeah, I
yeah,
remember selling my marital home. I mean, we went 50-50. We went the 50-50 route.
it's
And
good.
I still think it's fair. It was fair for our situation, but I never would have considered anything other than that, just because I just wanted to get through it. And, I think that having a realtor like you, Danielle, that would have reminded me, like, hey, there's not just monetary contributions to a home. Like, it is not just about, like, who is bringing, like you said, who's paying for the kitchen remodel or who's, whatever. But there is a lot of work and a lot of investment that goes into maintaining a home that's not translated in dollars. And I think that that's a really important way to look at it. And you really have to think about when you're selecting a realtor, like, are they going to help you see that? Because we're not selling a house in a vacuum. Like, there are all these other circumstances that are happening at the same time. And I think that's what we so much appreciate about you, is that you see that. And it's not just a sale or a buy. It's something more than that. So,
We actually have a question. Can we ask you that,
Ask
Ren?
away.
Because we can stay on with you for an
oh
hour,
my God,
but
we really
we
could.
have to honor the format, the lightning talk format, because attention spans, right? But are you seeing seller contributions towards closing costs being offered? That's the question we have.
I did see that question roll up, and the short answer is yes. So right now, every market is a little bit different. Okay, so I
Mhm.
want you all to keep that in mind because it really depends on your like hyper local market. But nationally, in general speaking, and here in Maryland especially, I'm not going to go as far as to say it is a buyer's market because it is not, but it is more of a balanced market.
Okay.
So we are seeing houses sell for under list price. The average list time right here in the DMV area is now up to 18 days. I can tell you 2 years ago, it was at like 18 hours. So
Wow.
literally. So like now, really, it's the average is 18 days between 1 and 30 days, right? So these houses are sitting for 2, 3, 4 weeks, and the sellers are absolutely accepting offers that need some help. And these are strategies that I will run through with you depending on your local market, where you want to end up, what your strategy should be, and what you should expect for your market and your price range. Because the higher the price goes, the more wiggle room you're going to have, because your competition decreases. The lower
Hmm.
your price range is, the competition is a little heavier. So it depends on where you're going to fall within that spectrum. But in general speaking, the short answer is yes. So the last, I would say, 3 buyers that I settled out had contributions, which means what that means is, just for anyone who doesn't know, is the seller is giving the buyer cash towards their closing costs. It's the only way for a seller to give a buyer money because you can't exchange
Got it.
physical funds. So in order for it doesn't reduce the price of the house. If your house is 350,000, you're still buying that house for 350,000. But instead of needing $20,000 at the closing table, you've now negotiated $10,000 from the seller to help pay. So you only need $10,000 at the closing table, which means that you have more cash in your pocket, which is a very powerful way to negotiate. And it is the way I prefer to negotiate because, personal opinion, I'm a cash king. And when you buy a house, it's naturally harder for you to save like you used to, right? Your expenses go up a little bit. things break, you need some cash, I am always going to try to help you save your cash money.
Yes, yes, and we love that about you. We love that you keep it real and you keep it like you truly have the best interest of whoever your client is at in the top of your mind at all times, and we really appreciate that. And the one thing that we also want to shout out about Danielle is that even if you're not listening from Maryland, because we know that we have followers from all over, she can find you someone anywhere. So do not let that be a barrier to contacting Danielle. And we actually, as we're wrapping, and our mascot Gaia, who you can see right here, I don't know if you can see it, Danielle. She's been popping in, but that's why we've been kind of laughing because she's been. Sometimes she knocks over the tripod, so we were like making sure she didn't do that today. But I pinned in the chat a contact form for Danielle. So if you have any questions for Danielle, please fill out. Please visit the link that's pinned in the chat. And Danielle is amazing. She's got amazing turnaround time. Like she's on it, and she, like I said, has your best interest at heart. So if you have any questions, please visit the link and contact Danielle, and she will get you the resources that you need.
Yeah, and we, as you close, Danielle, will you, to let people know where they can find you, because we still have some questions coming in about like home
Yeah.
warranties, which is something
Yeah.
I'm actually really curious about. So I need the answer to that. But can you also include, when you include everything about where to find you, why you're so passionate about helping divorced people? Because, in our work of like trying to disrupt the stigma that sometimes comes with being divorced, or feeling like you're kind of forgotten or unseen, like you are leaning into what we find so important, which is acknowledging, opening up a conversation, and caring so deeply about this experience, this life transition. So include that, please, as you close.
Excellent. I do see these questions rolling in, and I want to encourage you with these questions to please fill out the form, because I have all the answers and I just don't have time right now. So please fill out the form and I will get you your answers within 24 hours for sure. The best way to find me is on Instagram, DeWaldera Realtor. I think you guys have me pinned all over everything.
Yep.
So follow me here. You can fill out the contact form and that goes directly to my email, and I'll pick up the phone and call you, as long as that doesn't like weird you out. But like, I'm a talker, right? So like, if that doesn't weird you out, I'll pick up the phone and call you. If that weirds you out, I'll just email you, or whatever you prefer, DM, however you prefer. Technology is my friend. So whatever you need to do, this job is my passion. It's my life. So I am available for you. I'm not great at boundaries, so you can call me anytime and I will pick up the phone, as long as I'm not dead asleep. And the reason I love the divorce community so much, honestly, is because in a time when y'all are going through so much heartache and so much turmoil and so much stress, this group has shown me so much gratitude, which is crazy. In a time where like I would give you a pass to like be a little nasty, or like, be a little rude. Like, I'm getting that from my other clients who like have no good reason to treat me like that. But y'all are all so grateful, and such a loving group of people that really has so much love to give, even in a space where you're feeling like not a lot of love is coming to you, but you have so much love to give. And I really, really connect with this group, and I really love all of you, each and every one of you. And I would just encourage you to keep loving yourselves, and just know that like you don't have to settle.
Thank you, Danielle. We love you back too. And like, it was an instant connection with Danielle.
Yeah.
Like, truly, like, she is as real as you get. And we just really appreciate, your enthusiasm and your true and genuine care.
Yeah. And especially for being a part of our very first Divorce Con. And
yes,
you will be one of the first people we have in when we do this in person.
Yes.
Can't wait for that. But thank you for taking time today. And everyone, again, ask your questions of her. We'll see you in 5 minutes with our friend Chantel, who's going to talk about high conflict co-parenting. So Danielle, again, thank you. And we look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Yes. Love
Okay,
you.
bye.
Love you.
Love you all.
Bye, everyone. See you in a few.